Alright guys, we're back, and as said in the chat, but maybe you missed it, we're going to be casting Impact versus herO coming up next, and this isn't the old Liquid herO, this is actually the old CJ herO. Before we hop into the game, though, I do want to remind you guys, we do have a giveaway going on through one of our sponsors, G2A. They're giving away like 10 cards, so exclamation mark giveaway in chat if you'd like to get involved. I do know people have a mixed bag feeling reaction to G2A, so if you don't like G2A, then don't get involved with the giveaway. Just let the people who do not care get some free stuff, I guess. I don't know how to phrase it differently. But I love giving away free stuff, so get on it while you can. But we're going to be getting into the game. Are you ready to do the countdown?
Yep.
By the way, I'm just waiting for us to have the wrong maps synced up one of these games, and we're going to like talk about totally different things.
That would be kind of difficult to do.
All right. On 1, 3, 2, go.
Just never say one. Oh my god. God.
You know what? This is like when I ask you to give me a countdown, you're like 7, 6. Like,
I guess you're right. It is the equivalent. That's
okay.
fair.
Game number 1. This is the semifinals, guys. Coming down here in the bottom left side, we got the blue Terran player. It's gonna be herO.
In the bottom right is the red Zerg. He's Impact.
Now, real quick, it was actually requested during the break that since we are skipping some of the matches and going straight to the semifinals and finals, like, will we be willing to do some stuff afterwards? And I'm just gonna say, heck yeah. Like, we want to do the co-op thing this week anyways. Yesterday ran like 5 hours, so it was a little bit longer than we expected, and we were a little bit tired for it, so we didn't really have time. I think today we can try and knock out the co-op mission, because this week's co-op is actually hilarious. I haven't played it yet, but I've been seeing people play it. And do you know about it, Zombie Grub?
Yeah, I've seen the explanation.
But have you actually seen it? Like, have you seen anyone play it?
No, I just saw pictures.
Because the turkeys in game look ridiculous, like comically ridiculous to watch.
Yep.
So super excited to give that a shot afterwards. But anyways, we'll leave that to that because, like I said, we're gonna cast this in the finals. So it's worth noting, in the finals, waiting for the winner of this series is Innovation. So the winner of this will play against Innovation in the grand finals.
Cool. So PVT or ZvP? All right then.
Anything versus Innovation, I'll take it. Although it's weird because we saw Innovation at VSL, and believe it or not, Armani took him on, and in rather good fashion too.
Yes. Who actually beat him?
I thought it was Armani, wasn't it?
Was it Armani?
Yeah, Innovation got like Shrek'd really early, remember? I might be wrong on this.
I don't.
VSL Team League, SC2. I gotta go look this up. Because my mind says that it was Armani, but I could be wrong.
You might be right. I don't remember the actual game, though.
Unfortunately, the way Wikipedia has it listed out is not too helpful.
Oh. Are we waiting for someone?
No, it was Dark who finally took him down. Excuse me. So it was a Zerg. It was just the wrong Zerg.
I thought Armani was the one that like looked like he might be able to, and then he barely brought it back.
He did look like he would be able to. That's probably why I messing it up. Because I remember now going back, we're talking about like, oh yeah, like was Dark watching the game versus like Armani, and did he learn from that, and etc.
Yeah. But I mean, the point still stands that the Zergs, I mean, they're taking on the Terrans now, basically the once unbeatable looking TVZs. But it might not be a TDZ, so before we get too excited about that potential, herO could very well win. I mean, herO has a lot of weight behind him we're used to anyway. Honestly, like, I wasn't paying attention that much to the Korean leagues. The time's just too bad and we're casting too much, so I really lost the impact of the individual league results, basically.
Clever.
But, yeah, I know. But, regardless of that, basically, I think everyone can agree that herO may be cool guy, pro league, cool guy, individual league. Now swap into those online leagues, not actually that impressive, you know? Like, and this happens a lot with the Korean guys. They look super cool offline, and then online, they're not that great.
I always find it weird, too, because you would see for these LeiFeng Cups and other tournaments, you'd see the big dogs show up for those. Like, Innovation shows up for like the SGL $600 cup, but then doesn't show up for like the $5,000 Ting Open. You know, like I never really understood what the priority was for these guys in the being online with their presence.
Yeah, I don't know about that either. But there's some that are just better online than others. Innovation, he so far is, I think, the best offline player to go be decent online. Bjorn actually, I would say, started off as an online player, just considering that he took a 2-year retirement, basically, between offline and online player. But anyway, weird titles aside, the point is, herO might be like easy peasy choice if you saw this on your Team Liquid bets for GSL against Impact. I don't really know about this online cup.
I mean, Impact we haven't seen a lot of either, though. We do need to talk about that, right? Like, this is a guy who used to play in a lot of the Elite Leagues, finally got on a big Kespit team, and then Kespit team falls apart. So, like, where is Impact right now? Hell if I know. Maybe his PvZ is actually amazing. We have yet to find out. I will say, though, I'm interested to see what type of style... Yeah, there's the ban links coming down. Because, let's be honest, Dark kind of ruined the matchup for everybody. As soon as he made ban links and links really popular, everyone started doing them, and all kinds of protoss started falling to it as well.
Yeah. I mean, the defensive banlings, which looked amazing, have really fallen off. But in terms of just, like, overwhelming your opponent with mass banling, that was really popular, died down for a little bit, and is back to being super powerful and super good, which makes a lot of Protoss really upset that they got a buff in the next patch, even if it was with the speed. The whole point is they're attacking with a maxed army with speed, so yeah, they're attacking with the buff. I don't know actually it's going to look. I mean, that's one of the reasons we would have hoped that these replays would have been on the new patch to see what it actually looks like. But not getting the chance. Eventually. Double Robo on the way. Third base shouldn't be canceled. No, there's not enough lanes for this. Just Oracle's tapping away. Oh, and he lost one.
Well, only one going down is not too bad. Still manageable. The other Oracle is just going to be flying around and probably can't do much more than Scout, but still seeing things like the Baneliness is a pretty big Scout in and of itself.
Sure, I mean, you don't know what composition they're going for.
Well, it's not like that, but it's like, you're guessing there might be Lings on the field. When you see a Baneliness, you know there's going to be a lot of Lings on the field, and things like a double Robo, so you have production, it should become a lot more important. Like one Robo slowly getting up Colossus or anything behind it just wouldn't cut it. Uh-oh, this is a little bit awkward too.
herO has been going faster Colossus versus Terran, but still not very gung-ho about faster Colossus versus Zerg. So that, I imagine it's still four Immortals, but it'd be cool.
Yeah. I think the thing about the Immortals, which is nice, is regardless of like what you're shooting, they can still pop that barrier and be very tanky units no matter what you're fighting against.
Yeah, I mean, the point really is production and to have that front line to soak everything up, because Charge might seem totally like the wrong move to go for against Banelings, and you would see some people intentionally go Blink as opposed to Charge lots because they saw it was Banelings, but it kind of became like, okay, you could go Blink, I suppose, or you could just micro and let the Immortals and Archons take the brunt of the force, and the Charge lots stay behind until the post-Baneling war.
Well, speaking of Banelings, we're going to have a bit of a drop as this Overlord goes over to the left side. A couple links sneak through to the main, and these are actually going to be great for distraction tactics. 2 minutes to sneak off and maybe morph in. No, herO knows what's up. That being said, though, while he's looking at the main, he might not be looking at the third, and this drop Overlord... Oh, man, this Overlord looks vicious, by the way. The drop Overlord coming in looking for some probe kills. Attack in the front. Again, all of these are just kind of, I feel like, small distraction tactics, hoping that herO's not looking as the Overlord comes in. But the overcharge pops. Looks like herO is paying attention. Banelings are not going to get much of anything for kills. 3 probes for an Overlord and 4 Banelings? Not worth.
No, it wasn't. It was the tiniest bit of harassment, though, so overall this game is not going to be going any which way, advantage, basically, direction. These are still both macroing up. You got Hydras on the way, Charge Out, Immortals now, I guess, finishing up.
By the way, to the dedicated viewer that's been here from the start, or you're watching all the VODs on YouTube, I apologize for the redundancy in this, but we do have people coming in chat, so I'm going to reaffirm. The patch is live in StarCraft 2. These are games from 2 days ago, so these were played like literally like the second and the moment before the patch was put out type thing. But these weren't cast, and there were some pretty good games with some pretty good players, so that's why we decided to cast them. Or I presume pretty good games. With like Impact and herO and Innovation and such, you can't really go wrong.
Well, Impact opening up that attack path, as he does have Hydras now coming out. He actually has a Spire already on the way.
It's funny though, because like herO's actually got such a sick defense setup with these pylons where they are and the Immortals in the Sim City. There's actually no way for Impact to really get on top of this easily. Even if Banelings roll in, there's just so much that'll block them out. The charge lots are going to be so powerful versus the Hydras, but they have to be kept behind. They can't be wasted on the Banelings.
Impact is also just, I mean, he's getting tech right now. He's only just getting to his 4th base. It's not really that super scary, almost maxed out Baneling roll-in. In fact, it's not scary at all. herO has a significant supply advantage and just a good army as long as he's not letting the charge lots run forward all clumped up. So I'm more scared for Impact unless he can do the Muta swap correctly, right? Like,
Yeah. The Mutas can be pretty dangerous in a lot of situations, but I just want to address this in chat. Someone asking, is this CJ herO or former Liquid herO? Here's how you tell the difference, guys. Are there DTs? No, it's CJ herO.
wow, so rude.
I mean, think about the last every time we've seen herO, right? Like, he has been doing DTs.
Oh, he was.
Like...
Yeah, he liked DTs for sure, but I was going to say they also spell their name differently. Well, no, they don't spell it differently. They capitalize
it differently, yeah. HO, ho. Mutalisks are going to come across the map, though, and 12 of them are not going to have anything to really stop them. And if they pick off that Blinker, if they pick off that Storm, that's going to be magical, but they're going to go straight to the probe line instead. I like that he chose the natural instead of the main, too. He knows that the main's going to be mining out at this point. There won't be that many probes there. So he gets 17, 18 kills in the natural.
That's really nice.
And the Mothership Core. Oh, no overcharge. She's got like 3 of them in her, but she's not going to pop them. Only 2 barely go off.
There you go. Yeah, it took a long time.
Meanwhile, we got the attack
forward,
on the other side.
I don't know if it's going to work anymore. There are a lot more Banelings than a minute ago.
Yeah, there are. And they make it through the army to reach the Zealots in the back. Now the Hydras and the Queens can just push on top of the Immortals. hero's army falls apart in a matter of seconds, and he's got no probes behind this to make up those losses. Yeah, I picked up some drones up here in the top right, but GG's get called, and Impact takes game number 1.
That was pretty perfect. Like, I was really scared because Impact was not using his bank yet, and it was like, oh shit, like hero's pushing, but that worked out perfectly. The Spire finished, Mutas came out, and then it forced herO into an awkward situation where he definitely overcommitted on the creep.
Agreed.
Well done.
Well, guys, again, I'm sorry to be laying on the ads so thick, especially when you guys have treated us so right with like bits and all this today, but the thing is we have to... I should put this on stream next time we get out of game. We have to wait for the game to unload, then completely stop StarCraft, then load up again and find the right replay through the Chinese text. So it's gonna take us a minute. We'll see you guys in 2 to be precise. So thanks for watching. All right, we're back, and before we get into the game, I just want to get caught up with a little bit of shout out action. So thank you to Green Switch for the 3-month resub. He's a sub. Hope you're still around. Thank you to Striker81 for the 8-month resub, and then just now Off Skip for the 2-month resub as well. Sorry guys, we're actually getting caught up in some of these games. It's been pretty action-packed, so we haven't got all the subs. But you guys also missed it during the break. I guess they turned on like every PC simultaneously at the PC Bong Zombie Grub's at, so it was loud. Oh my god, it was so loud.
Imagine just like 25 windows. Boom, boom, boom,
whatever.
Yeah.
Alright, let's hop in the game. On 1. Okay? So 9.
I don't believe you.
8. 7, 6, 1. I said 1 this time. Are you okay with that?
I know. Yeah, I'm fine with that. You think I'm going to get bothered by this? No.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, game number 2 here in the semifinals. Bottom left side of the map is formerly CJ Entis' own herO. And unfortunately, just like that capitalized letter at the end of his name, that is the score he currently has.
A capital O?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the score. And the top right has the red Zerg. He is Impact.
Funny thing is, the capital in his name reflects his score as well. It's 1-0 for Impact.
So one of the like really obnoxious things about Korean is when you learn the number system, and there's 2 number systems, so that's, you know, first obnoxious. And then second obnoxious is that 5 is O. And when you tell someone like your phone number, it's so confusing.
Well,
it's only English that uses the letter for the number, though, so that's kind of our bad.
It's a good thing you can differentiate between the 2 for all those Tinder Korean boys you'll be picking up, trying to get their numbers.
Giving them my temporary Korean number that is expired.
Dude, that's the best, because then they can't bug you when you go back home.
Yes.
So this actually was a pretty quick pool on gas out of Impact. Luckily, this wasn't anything too cheesy, but it does get scouted. So if this was like an 11, 12, something ridiculous pool, this would be pretty bad. But for herO, he scouts a just priority pool, I guess you could call it.
Priority pool? I love that, actually. It sounds like an airline term. Priority pool, please log.
Please
get
begin
on
boarding.
The plane, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But it was curious that he went for such an early probe scout. I mean, there have been a string of winning Zergs basically looking to close it out with the cheese, so it's also not too unexpected.
So real quick for chat, so thank you Shandeth NL for the 26 months of resubbing, keeping that esports stream alive. Whether you're posting real spoilers or fake spoilers in chat, guys, no spoilers ever. That's the quickest way to get banned. And there's very little chance to appeal a ban if you post spoilers. So, again, even if they are fake, don't do it. It's not funny. Nobody's laughing. You're just an asshole.
Oh my god. I looked down at my keyboard, and it actually literally has a key to change from English to Korean.
That's what I said. It's by the Alt key, right?
Yeah, but I was looking on the wrong side of the keyboard, and I thought you meant literally Alt. Like, because the way you do it on the computer is it's like Alt Control or something. But for StarCraft...
I told you, man. They showed me when we were at the G-Star place.
You weren't specific enough. Because the key... There's another random, I don't know what this means, key next to the left side Alt key, which is the one I would usually use. It just says... Hanja, which I think is like, I'm not sure what that means.
It's time to do science.
I'm not, oh, what the fuck? I don't know.
Just don't hit P or B in the replay and I think you'll be fine.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what it does. Well, now I know. Now it's magical. Anyway.
Well, the Sim City is pretty tight out of herO actually, and even with the Stargate opener, you still manages to wall this off so no lings can get by. God knows I've seen enough like Scarlet games more recently where like 6 lings end the game in 2 minutes flat because the pylon's at a terrible spot and all that.
Well, she got some good opponents at the time.
Well,
anyway.
Like who was it? Super was our mod celebration day show match, right? Yeah, like I Super 2-0'd her right away.
Oh.
I didn't expect her to do that like on the way back.
Yeah, that was kind of funny. I was thinking of the time before that though. Anyway, Phoenix on the way out, second Stargate here. I think that herO would have loved to have denied Impact Scout for that, and it looks like he will be able to.
This is according to chat. The other key is for the Chinese characters, I guess.
Well, that's what I thought Hanja meant. But I tried
Bangoza.
using it. I tried using it, and it didn't change the Chinese characters, just kept Kongo.
Oh. Well, here's the thing about the second Stargate that's going to be kind of tough. The fact that this doesn't get scouted is kind of a big deal because you don't know whether there's dedication to that first one or not. Usually it's like, oh, you made an Oracle or 3 Phoenix and that's it. But there might be a lot of Phoenix made this game. However, that being said, Impact's also going for a Baneling nest. And if there's one thing Phoenix don't do well, they don't lift up a lot of lings and lift up a lot of Banelings. They just simply don't have the energy for it. So for herO's sake, if he is going to go mass Phoenix, he's got to have some way to deal with that Baneling, that ling problem.
Yeah, and for Impact, whether it's 1 Stargate or 2 Stargates, the point is, it's Phoenixes. This is going to be that same problem. Like, if you have double the amount of Phoenixes, it still doesn't help clear up a ton of lings.
I love the way he just saved this probe, by the way. That was so clever. And the Adepts get in a pretty nice spot, too. He'll cancel the pylons, most likely, or maybe even let one of them finish so he can overcharge it later. But 2 lings managed to sneak up here to the left side, and I don't believe he saw these Banelings get made. They're not going to easily sneak into the base, however. In fact, they probably won't get in at all. But they're still clever out of Impact.
Yeah. He's getting a lot of lings. I think he definitely is looking to just keep the third base from coming down for as long as possible. But, eventually yeah, you can't do much about it, especially when SimCity's up. And the Phoenix count... It is scary now. That's why he's getting so many queens. Yeah,
well, I mean, he lost one of the Phoenix, but he's been picking off all the queens pretty systematically, which is kind of working out for him. The problem that I find so interesting is there's a lot of drop overlords that were made to get past this wall through the Banelings, through the links. If the Phoenix pick them off, that's kind of a big waste in that regard, as they do segment themselves off to the side, hoping not to get picked off. Oracles start up now, 2 at a time. If we have 4 to 6 Oracles out, I think he holds no problem. But he's barely going to have 2 in time for this. The Phoenix has swooped down south to look for those overlords. He knows, I think? No, he doesn't. Uh-oh. So as he comes back home, there's that Baneling bust on the way. Adepts are going to take their turns trying to soak some of the damage, but the Nexus might even die. I don't know. That's a lot of Banelings.
I guess they need
Brubs get pulled. Oh, Brubs get pulled. That's not looking good.
Oh, the 8 go down. That's not too bad, but of course the lings are not flooding in. They're going to go after a pylon, though, and there's... Well, okay, yeah, it's more about the main base now. Phoenix has come back, and there might just be enough of them to pick up the rest of the Lings.
The fact that most of the banelings got popped off early, whether it was on the Adepts or those probes, I mean, 13 probes died, but that's 3 bases, right? Hero's actually not too bad of a spot. His whole army remains because it's in the sky, and any counterattack is going to be dangerous because Impact already lost all the queens. He doesn't have much anti-air at all. In fact, he's going to start throwing down a couple more spore crawlers because he has to. This is the only thing he can do for anti-air.
Impact was so close to getting even, like, double the probe kills, basically. Like, 2 banelings get better shots, or 10 more lings get into some mineral line. And that is, you know, putting him in a much better position, because right now, I don't think he did enough damage.
No, I don't think he did either. I love that double take in the middle of the map, where he flies past the queen and kind of does like a, wait, what? Why are you out here? Turns around and kills her very slowly. But the Phoenixes do make it across the map, and they're really, I mean, 2 spore crawlers per base. That stops 3 to 5 Phoenix. This is a pretty considerable amount of Phoenix, though.
Yeah, it is. And Impact doesn't, I mean, he got to the lair, but even going for Hydralisk, which he now throws down, you're going to be going for only a limit of a Hydralisk because his economy isn't that great. He's still barely above 50 with these, like, 3 drones on the way. That's not what you usually would like 8 minutes in the game.
No, and his drone count's getting picked up by the Phoenix, so they're just going to dive in and dive out. Shields will regenerate, no problem. Banelings managed to sneak in on the left side of the map, but they are cleaned up. Only 3 probes die. Ling's going to try and take down this wall, but I got to really emphasize, hero's got some super sick SimCity going out of each of his bases. Like, he's actually not going to be easily caught off guard by anything.
Yeah. That has certainly been a contributing factor to the hold, to the reason he's actually doing really well in this game. And Impact's going to try and break open some rocks to at least limit the 4th base. If Hero had taken this as 3rd, then that would have been better, but no. A lot of Protoss is taking this base now.
Yeah, more drones die in the natural base. This floating Overlord still in the bottom right haven't been discovered yet. Not that they've been too impactful in the game yet, either.
Impactful.
The Zealot can hold the wall. Of course, you can get more Warpins behind it. It's going to be a sentry, of course, so not a problem over here for Hero. And of course, I kind of forgot, there's 3 Oracles still in the sky. Just clean up his Lings relatively easily.
Well, Impact is in a very tricky spot. He's getting 7 Hydras, because that's all he can afford. I don't know if that's enough against Phoenixes if they're coming out from different hatcheries.
Very nice, very quick response on the left side. Oh, he thought this was a changeling? Oh, he's going to kill his own Zealot. Feels bad, man.
Oh, funny.
But it was the force field was so clutch and kept all the banelings out of that base, so lost the Zealot for it, I guess, technically, at the end of the day. That's awkward. Quite a few banelings morphed out here outside the natural, but again, busting through this won't be so easy. You're going to use most of them on a pylon or most of them on the Zealot.
Yeah.
In fact, force field can still wall them out. There we go. Yeah, not a problem. Now, this does depower some of the buildings, and that's kind of annoying in that regard, but he's still going to hold the wall, and that's hold the door, however you want to phrase that, not too bad.
Impact just finding no excess, like additional damage. Like, it's one thing for the Baneling bust to not have worked as much as you wanted it to. It's another not to be able to follow up with, like, more Overlord drops and, you know, Zealot out of place and no SimCity, which happens to a lot of the Protosses. Like, the 20 kills, which is okay, becomes 30 kills, which is much better. And Impact just stopped at every single avenue, and he's still not on a 4th base. It's pretty bad.
You know, the 4th base aside from him, though, look what's researching at a hero. If you want one way to deal with Hydras, Lings, and Banelings, you go for some frickin' Storms.
Yeah. I feel like Impact, I mean, I guess he's going to try and take a 4th base and play a long, steady game. Pray for a long game.
He'll pray for it, too, yeah. You're not wrong with that misspeak.
But it is still questionable because he is falling behind in that attack. Like, that Storm is a really big deal. And even if he got 2 Lurkers, the Immortals are on the way, and Storms can still help out versus Lurkers. And he wouldn't be able to get that many Lurkers either. He's numbers.
That's a clever split out of Impact to try and catch the Phoenix, but he only gets about 2 or 3 of them, so really still not cleaning all of them up. Although Hero might just fly into said. No, he said Revelation. Who knows? Looks like Banelings managed to sneak into the natural base once again, so we catch the tail end of 8 probes dying. I mean, credit goes where it's due. Impact is trying. Now, a lot of these have been very unsuccessful, but it's nice to finally see something hit and stick.
Well, the Lurker Gen is the next choice for Impact. I was saying, like, I don't think it's that good of an additional tech choice. I would say maybe even like a Hail Mary, Greater Spire would be better. Just hope that a hero doesn't scout it and doesn't push into you. by the time your corruptors are on the way
Man,
out. That would be a very long time, but
this 4 Templar gathering energy, they've got storms. I just feel like no matter how the engagement goes down, whether it's Banelings, Lings, Hydras, whatever, any amount of storms landing on this army could kill Impact, especially if it comes down on a choke. Like if Impact pushes up a ramp off creep, he's dead.
yeah, absolutely. Impact could still maybe get like a surround, and maybe herO loses the High Templars first. They're kind of in the middle of the army though, so it seems unlikely to happen.
I want to see like the sickest.
That's all I can hope for is a super sick surround, which he's not getting.
Well, I want to see the sickest like force field storm combo here, right? Bailing's on the front line, a couple of storms go in. Not gonna look too good initially. Sorry, just one storm. But force fields deny the Bailings on the backside. Trying to swoop in from behind. Really nice moves out of herO. Bailings roll in, but they're not gonna catch much. Hydra's splitting for the storms, but they're also not gonna catch much. Lurker's trying to morph in on the front lines, but this might already be too much damage. Too far gone. Phoenix is lifting up what they can. Lurkers aren't even gonna get a chance to hatch. Poor babies. And this is looking pretty much over. I love the hallucinated Colossus, by the way, soaking up so much damage. herO ties up the series now 1-1.
Yep. Well done, but also Impact went for the risky move of trying to close the game out early, and it didn't work. So
it wasn't even just that. Like he failed at doing it like so many times. Like I love the idea of like the continued assault and the continued attacks, but in practice it didn't work the way he wanted it to. All right, well, folks, that being said, another commercial break. We'll get everything, Alt F4 out and all this stuff. We'll see you in 2 minutes. Game number 3. Things are tied up now 1-1 between CJ, herO, and Impact. Winner plays against Innovation in those grand finals. All right, guys, we're back. Real quick, before we get into the game, Zombie Grub is currently going to show off. She got a donut during the break, I guess? What? Like...
I don't know. I was looking at all the stuff that is available to eat, and I wasn't gonna make ramen. But there was a donut.
Does it look like? Like, does it look like the package?
Oh, it's so sticky.
No, yuck. That's pretty cute though. I like the I don't know, the lines. I was gonna call the design on the donut. Thank you, Farfig Nugan, for the ace Kate. But okay, let's get ready to go to game number 3, guys. Things are tied up 1-1. If you just tuned in. There was a question in chat, though. I'm going to answer that really quick. This is not a rerun. This is not a rebroadcast. If you're watching this on November 24th, what's up? You're watching live. But this is the first time we're seeing the games. They are from replays, but they weren't cast, I guess, by many people or anybody. So, I don't know. We're casting them here and now. So, on 1, Miss Grub. 3, 2, 1. Speaking of 1, things are tied up 1-1. Game 3 here in the LeiFeng Cup semifinals. Winner of this goes on to fight against Innovation in the grand finals, and after that, we'll play some co-op here on stream. Spawning, though, in the bottom right side of Frozen Temple, we do have the blue Zerg player, formerly of CJ Entis. It's herO.
In the top left, as the red Zerg, he is Impact.
Also, big shout out to all the people who got in on the bits train today. If you guys haven't noticed, BaseTradeTV does have bits finally enabled. Quick TLDR, because this was asked to me in a PM. We actually did not love the idea of bits right away. And I'm still not the biggest fan of bits per se, but that being said, people have been asking us to turn them on for a while. So I finally said, okay, fine, we'll do what the people want. We'll turn bits on. Turns out, nope, we couldn't due to the fact that I'm Canadian and there's like legal problems with that or something. So I had to fill out so many documents and then physically mail them in and all this. So we finally have bits actually on now after quite a bit of struggle. So I'm glad to see people took advantage of them as well. That we got like so many bits today. I don't even know what to deal with that. Like to do with that. Like we didn't actually discuss how we would handle bits because we didn't expect to get any.
Well, that donut was good. It tasted like, you have tasty cakes, right?
I think I tried one when we were in Texas.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what it tasted like. Something from like my childhood obesity, basically.
Yum. Bad memories.
Like,
taste the best.
Yeah, I guess so. It tasted good, but also it made me feel fat. Anyway.
Thank you, Tom KD, by the way, for the 500 more bits coming in. That's awesome, man. Thank you so much. What was I gonna say though? Oh, that totally the bits thing just threw me off. I don't remember where I was going. Okay,
and the
whatever.
donut.
Yeah, and the donut. Whatever. It's nice. I will say, replays I know are not the hypest thing in the world. At least we got some good quality replays and all this. But more importantly, I love that we can talk to you guys live. Like, ZvP can attest to this, how many times I've bitched and moaned. I hate that we have to stream on a delay. I love being able to interact with you guys live. Whether it's something simple like a shout out or reading a message in chat, like, the fact that we can't always do that live really actually bothers me. So it's nice to be able to do this once in a while.
Yep. Frozen Temple, and once again, herO did have that relatively quick probe scout. Even more so in Frozen Temple, I would say. It was pretty good. To know you're safe and comfy. I was seeing a lot of all-ins, actually. But I don't know if hero's going to be doing that. What?
Well, as you say, like, he's going for a Stalker first. Like, he really wants to push back that Overlord, so I'm wondering if, like, he's going to do something he really doesn't want seen or not. Like, is it sneaky? Like, what he's doing right now looks pretty standard, but suddenly there's a Dark Triad thrown down or something. I don't know.
After the Robo. I mean, the Robo being where it is could have actually been in one of those, like, so obvious, not scouted positions, but no, it was just so obvious it was scouted. But it is a question of what is that going to be used for? Are there a bunch of gateways that's just going to make it a Warp Prism and that's all it's going to be used for? Is he going to build Immortals first? And they're going to be like a Sentry push, a Sentry Immortal push, which is way too old school to probably be the case. But I don't know. hero's actually been around for a long time. I guess all of the Kespa guys have technically, because it's been years since Kespa swapped over. Once upon a time, they were the new blood, kind of.
It's weird to think about now, yeah. Thank you to Griffithus, by the way, for the 28-month resub. What's up, man? 28 years. Long time. Alright, so behind this impact, by the way, throws in a Roach Warren. So I guess he's really looking to get some fluff into his army.
Oh, he might...
He's not making drones anymore either.
No.
So yeah, it's kind of looking like maybe that's the direction he's going.
Well, I was going to say, getting the lair is not all in. So he does add on a couple of drones too.
Yeah.
It's still interesting to get him. I guess this number of lings is just going to be able to deny the third base, but hero's getting gateways first.
Hang on, is it okay? There's still Sentry in the wall. Stalker gets caught out in the open. That sucks a little bit. But the lings in the main actually, I think he thought they retreated, but they didn't. But they also run into an overcharge, so never mind. Not so good. Yeah, Sentry caught out on the other side of the base, though. The Immortal's surrounded. Hero just lost all of his big units.
Yeah, and that's pretty important because he was going to go for an attack. Like, that third base was going to be, at best, just, placed down while he moves out and wouldn't even get any probes on it. Like, he's going to go for an all-in. He just lost some pretty important units to that all-in.
Right, I mean, like, I don't know if Impact was gearing this direction or not because he did start building drones again, but I think he realized, like, man, picking off that Sentry was big. Picking off the Immortal was bigger. And now he's just going to make army units, and pure army units at that. 22 more lings, a couple of Roaches, a couple of Ravagers. I feel like hero's attack here it's so pitiful to look at.
It is so pitiful. I mean, even without losing the key units, it looks like a small army. And it really is like, what can you do with the micro, and how can you surprise the Zerg player? And everything's already gone like not a surprise is one of the first problems, then losing the units is the second problem.
So I do like the pick up and unload on the high ground to avoid getting stranded by the lings, but at the same time the lings say, okay, fine, we'll just go for your base then, because that Overlord that can drop is still down here, so they're going to rally in and drop to the main, while Impact tries to defend his third base. If Impact, he should be able to defend this base pretty easily. If Impact holds on to this, there's nothing on the other side of the map for herO. He just actually warped in all of his warp-ins on the front line. That means these lings heading to the main are going to have nothing to stop them.
Those are pretty decent force fields. More than keeping the lings in, they kept the Ravager Crucibles off of his War Prism, but he wasn't able to kill the lings fast enough. So, like, I think if he had killed the lings, maybe he pushes forward, but they're still available for surrounds.
Well, lings unloading the main. There's two distracting the pylon over here. The Mothership Core is actually wicked out of position, so there's actually nothing in the main. Probes get pulled to try and surround. Oh, they're going to go down. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, the attack is being held off pretty well by the Ravagers. Queen's still holding strong. The Adepts are going to be a problem, to be honest, but that being said, the Ravagers have taken out a good chunk of the army.
No, that's not a problem. Yeah, and they just clumped up for the Crucible.
And the 12 probes died elsewhere. This is not looking good. The War Prism can't even transform. If she does, she's going to get picked off. Whatever. The point is that Warp Prism gonna go down for the Warpin's finish. Oh, the Warpin's denied. Mothership Core's got nothing to really even recall back home. GG! Impact takes the series 2-1.
GG.
But now we get into like the best replays of the day, because we're gonna have Impact versus Innovation coming up in these grand finals. Now it is worth noting, I think the grand finals is only a best of 3 because this was played out kind of like a weird group stage. It was like an extended group, is double elimination, whatever. Point is, we'll be getting into the game here in just a moment. Small commercial break before we do. So once again, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you soon.